gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So Dana White says, so of course, if you guys watch the Monday or listen to the Monday show, we covered the ESPN deal and all that. I dove deep into all that news. And Dana White, one thing I did say, I was like, Dana White, he's not going to evolve with not evolve with the times, And I was like, pay-per-view is dead. And Dana White says that there still could be one-off pay-per-view UFC events under the new rights. And he says, what I love about this business is I can lay out what we think the fights are going to be for a year, and a fight will pop up that I never saw coming. A star will pop up out of somewhere. Anything is possible, and you could do a one-off pay-per-view. And I'm going to be on pay-per-view this Saturday. Pay-per-view is not dead. Yeah, so of course he has to say that because they're selling a pay-per-view this Saturday. They're selling a pay-per-view for the pay-per-views for the rest of the year, right? And this narrative like pay-per-view is dead. It is dead. But of course, yes, there's always going to be one-off anomalies. Someone's always going to have that super fight. The Saudis are going to still dabble in pay-per-view, but they'll still do streaming. And it's just obvious. Like they end up uploading fights on YouTube and stuff. So I think that, let's say Connor, like the White House, they're talking about we're going to do a fight on the White House or on the White House at the White House. Okay, maybe you could sell that as a pay-per-view. Right? They were talking about Musk versus Zuckerberg in the Roman Coliseum or whatever. Okay, that could be a pay-per-view. It's a freak show event. So definitely pay-per-view. Everyone will figure out the next Girls Gone Wild or whatever. Pay-per-view will never truly be dead as long as there are sleazy motels, single bed motels along highways. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. But he has to say that. And this pay-per-view tomorrow's going to be, or on Saturday is going to be nuts. I'll be watching UFC and AAA on PWT. So make sure you guys come and lock in for that show on Saturday. So Zeta Zhang says, come get beat up at Power Slap. Speaking of Dana White, and there's been an influx, and I predicted this, of pro wrestlers saying, yeah, I'll get into Power Slap. And they did a reality show on it with pro wrestlers. I mean, it's season 2 or 3. I think they tried a second season of that like reality show for Power Slap. Didn't really work out. I think they filmed one for pro wrestlers. But either way, they got a bunch of pro wrestlers involved from the indies. And some WWE folks have been offered Power Slap. We've confirmed that with Shotzi. And I even called it, what's to stop Braun Strowman from Power Slapping him to the next dimension, And here is a wrestler, Zeta Zhang, saying, who wants to get slapped?
I have a lot of Twisted fans that always slide in my DMs asking me to beat them up. I don't know what it is about y'all that enjoy getting your ass whooped, but I'm about it. I'm going to be at the Power Slap Combine, and I don't have any way to train for it. It's not like an MMA fight. I don't get a sparring day. So for those who want to get beat up, I'll finally make your fantasy a reality. Slide in my DMs to apply. So
this is better than Dana White. Like he was teaming up with like OnlyFans girls to. I shouldn't have said that on YouTube so early in the show, but he was teaming up with like OF girls and selling them and being like, you can win a Bugatti or whatever. This is better, I guess. Teaming up with pro wrestling. Power Slap is up, man. But pro wrestlers like will go get slammed on their heads and bodies a million times over for like probably equal to or less than money if you're on the indies. So Travis Heckel, friend of the show, buddy, old pal. We chop it up a bit here and there. But friend of the show, Travis Heckel, he says, I know I have a lot of wrestling fans through here, but just so you know, I'm no longer working on the Cornette podcast. So his thumbnails are going to change. Probably that other gentleman who does them. Maybe he'll be taking over full time. And he says, it was a great opportunity and fun times. If it's your thing, please keep listening and have fun. So shout out Trav, man. Hopefully he gets to work animating or, doing stuff for other people. I'm not sure if it's because he's rather political online and it's completely 180 different than Jim Cornette's views, but I don't know. I don't let people's opinions on trigger me like that. So yeah, maybe that's it. But I mean, that's just everyone speculating online. Who knows? It's personal between them. It's all good. Maybe they're just switching it up. I've thought about doing the same. So Evil Uno's mystery wrestling promotion. And I actually tuned in at like one point, actually a few times. I was up editing. And as I was like, oh, what's a different YouTube video or dude, what do I need to throw on? I flipped over like a couple times. This was live all night. They had like 300 and some people watching just on YouTube live throughout like the whole evening. And it was this mystery wrestling, Evil Uno. They did a 24-hour wrestling event where it was like one match, I guess, that went for 24 hours. And like they had even the refs come out, because you're probably thinking like, who refed it? Well, they had like a ref takes a bump, a new ref comes out and is the ref for like the next 30 minutes. They had a spot where like refs came out and were like throwing each other out of the ring. It was the biggest ridiculous fucking shit ever. Every time I whipped it on, it was just ridiculous. So, and I mean, it wasn't on maybe for like 10 minutes at a time. I consumed this maybe 4 times throughout the evening. Okay. Just to paint a picture, just as I'm like, what to watch next on YouTube. Okay. This is on. Let me just throw this on still. But either way, Evil Uno's mystery wrestling promotion raised over 33,000 Canadian. So that's like 20 grand American for the Canadian Cancer Society by holding the longest wrestling match of all time. Former AEW star Stu Grayson won the match, which clocked in at 21 hours, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds. So they were trying to last, I think, 24 hours, or they did with like the pre and post shows or whatever. And Stu Grayson won the whole thing. Evil Uno even jumped on and watched wrestled throughout the thing while he was doing commentary and watched like the whole thing. I think he stayed up for 24 hours and did the whole thing, you know? So it's pretty crazy. It was for a good cause, though. So normally it'd be like, well, that's dumb, but it's for a good cause. So Oro Mensah makes his GCW debut on September 20th in LA. Shotzi Blackheart, Bear Bronson, Matt Cardona, Mance Warner, Matt Tremont, Atticus Cogar, Jack Cartwheel, Effie. Like, these are all the names. That's why some of these folks leave. Elena Black leaves, or Tegan Knox leaves WWE, or they get released, or their contract expired. Then they look at the indies and it's like, shit, you can't make as much as you thought you were going to make. Not everyone can be Matt Cardona. Look how pretty well stacked that is. If you're a fucking indie wrestling fan or a GCW fan, that's a stacked card right there. Like, that's a stacked roster. That's like a fucking TNA fed, a developmental fed right there. Shout out Oro Mensah getting out there and making indie dates and that. Speaking of getting out there again, the Tonga Twins, they're in NWA. Shout out Billy Corgan. So I have a wrestler on the show. It'll be out tomorrow. He's in NWA as well currently, and I asked him about Billy Corgan. It's so good. We had the best convo ever, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it tomorrow on PWT, Pro Wrestle Times. But either way, the Island Twins. So I don't know, are they the Island Twins now and not the Tonga Twins? Either way, they are in NWA. Wearing the red and black attack, man. The blood lined up. So Talavu Tonga and Tahine Tonga. There you go, man. How long till they're in the Fed? So speaking of Tongans and Samoans, Zilla breaks down his family tree, and he doesn't really understand it either, which is no surprise. I mean, how do you keep up with that whole fucking... We all saw the graph The Rock pulled up.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I want you to tell me how you're related to these people.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yokozuna.
Uncle.
Rosie.
Uncle. Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
So,
If
uncle, but we call him cousin. Yeah. We call him cousin.
But here, they laugh about that, but I have the same shit. I have a cousin. He's my second cousin, but I call him my uncle. I get where he's coming from, but to some people, they laugh. But he's technically, if Rosie's your uncle, Roman's technically also your uncle, you know?
Age bracket.
That's what it is.
Your uncle?
Yes, that's Rosie. So Rosie's my uncle too, but Rosie is his little brother.
Yeah.
So but we call him, our cousin.
Jimmy and Jay.
My cousin. That's our dad's his brothers.
So at the same time, then Solo as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Rock.
Cousin. Yeah, through marriage and blood.
Ava, so Rock's daughter.
Oh man, she would have to be my second or third cousin because that's his daughter.
But like The Rock isn't his first cousin, I don't think either. So it's actually like second cousin once removed or some, however the fuck it works.
Still the same.
Afa and Sika.
Uncle.
Everyone can't be your uncle here. A lot of uncles.
Uncle, trust me, especially Oos, if you see the kids that our dad and our grandpas have, you would know why. Like the minimum of each person is like 11 kids. So if you do 11, 11, 11, you got to understand there's more branches under those 11.
Yeah, this
11,
bloodline
11.
goes on forever.
For real. Hey, y'all, even though I'm part of this, I'm still learning. This is how big our family is. I'm still learning who my family is, you know, so.
Rikishi.
Uncle.
A lot of uncles. Peter Maivia.
Oh,
So the high chief, we're talking, that's like his great some shit. Right? It has to be.
I would say
Like that's like great some shit. Hold on, let's see what he says.
That's Rock's grandfather.
Yeah, so
I would say grandfather, right?
No, I don't.
No, that's your.
That's Rock's grandfather.
If you're Rock's first cousin, but no, it's like your great grand, because even though Rock is his cousin, he's still like a generation below Rock or whatever, right? And he tried to explain it with the tree, but it's just amazing. And it's so crazy how Samoa Joe told Chris Van Vliet, he's like, dude, if me and Roman have said, like, if we connected this and that person, if our moms talked, we could figure out who's related in our family. But it's crazy that there's no distinct, like, he doesn't have the look of the Tongan or the Anawai or the Maivia or the Fatu, you know, he doesn't really have that look. And no one's like, yeah, he's directly my cousin or anything. That's so wild.
Then it's probably a
Grandfather
cousin, some sort of cousin, right?
Yeah, something.
So I guess Rocky Johnson then is also a cousin.
You can consider him, yeah, a cousin or fourth cousin. I don't know. We're gonna have to do a trivia on this.
Who else? What about like Naomi?
Naomi, that's the sis, man. She's a sister-in-law. That's Jimmy's wife.
So that's
sis-in-law. Trinity Fatu. There it goes.
Because when you have that many cousins, you all grow up like brothers and shit, you know?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Lloyd, that's my uncle. Yeah, that's on Alpha side. So no, that's my second cousin.
He's like asking Giga Chad Van Vliet. Chris is like, oh fuck, I'm asking you, bro.
Bro, we can literally do a whole episode, a whole segment on this. So we'll be here for a couple hours. We'll be here for a couple hours, man.
Do you know how you're related to Nia Jax?
No, I don't. Can you guys help? Can you help with that?
I'm sure if we saw the diagram,
yeah.
WWE put it up on WWE Unreal. And it's huge, right?
Really?
Like the font is so small.
Oh, wow. I didn't even watch it yet.
Yeah, there's so many people because they're explaining like, you know, how everyone is part of this. And they put up the graphic.
Should we pull it up, chat? Chat, should we pull it up and see? No, go through the whole thing. We'll do the whole show on that. So New Japan and Stardom are running a joint show in China together. So that's amazing. And hopefully it's a stacked up card. China and Korea starting to ramp it up in the pro wrestling world. Karl Fredericks, FKA Eddie Thorpe, says, I'm not your NDN. I'm not your NDN guy. I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your guy, friend. So he is here cutting a promo, finally making his first like indie appearance since being released from WWE.
So for those of you that might not know, it sounds like plenty of you do. My name is Karl Fredericks. But 10 years ago, man, and I remember struggling all week at work, dying because I couldn't wait to get in the car with my friends and go wrestle every weekend. The way it felt, and this one's hard because there's a part of me that I'm ashamed to say, I'm embarrassed to say. I remember the way it felt winning my first, and to this day, my only title, my only championship, and it's not for lack of effort, but I remember how it felt winning the internet title in the Cow Palette. I remember the love that you guys gave me each and every time I came out here. Every time I come back, I remember the love that I used to feel for this, and it's not going to be too much of a surprise to most people as I imagine. But spending the last 2.5 years shoving sage up my ass in a parking lot in Orlando hasn't been the most fulfilling life for me. But I've dealt.
Yeah, you can see that round of cuts they did. Like, there's some bitterness from some of those folks, and I think there's Yeah, there's a reason for that.
With this cultural identity stuff my whole life, man. There's been times when I haven't been native enough for my own people. There have been times where I'm too Indian for a group over here, and there's been times when I've been nothing.
Did you say he says, "Oh, there's times I'm too Indian for"? See, guys, we call ourselves Indians. Everyone's offended. Oh, we got to change the Washington Redskins or whatever. No, you don't. No, you don't. You didn't have to do that. No one gives a fuck.
More than an
Bunch of like triggered white ladies, fucking.
Indian to another group of people. So this is me taking back my life. This is me taking back my career. This is me taking back my identity. This is me taking back my love for pro wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of just buried WWE there a little bit, but hey, he's free to do his thing, and I'm here for it, Eric. So we saw this spot. I don't know if this is the same goddamn spot, but it like got reignited, pun intended. If it is, but like a couple shows ago, or like last show or the show before that, I can't remember. We covered like the fire spot where the guy gets slammed through the table and it lights on fire and everything. And maybe I'm misremembering it, or is this a different one? Because I don't remember Mickey Knuckles being involved in it. And maybe my mind just tuned it out for whatever reason. But yeah, let's watch this spot. And I don't know. People are just going nuts on this. And I don't blame them. Fire and glass are like the two things I don't fuck with in pro wrestling. I mean, if you can do it, it should be done. I pointed it out. Like if Edge spears Mick Foley through the thing off the apron at WrestleMania and it's a table on fire, okay, that's when you do it. If it's a moment like that, but just doing it on a random indie, this is wild. So we're going to watch this because it's sort of like, I swear to God, it had if this is the same clip or if this is GCW doing another fire spot, fuck me. Right? Like they just had a fucked up one. But let's watch it regardless in case you didn't see.
Whatever we can find is
Oh, shit.
No. Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
And this is Zach Amico on commentary.
Oh, this is not a good
Everybody
situation.
Please back up for your safety.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh!
Oh!
Through the fire!
Oh, my God!
Oh shit, he's on fire!
Oh, my God!
Oh, he's on fire!
Oh, my fucking God!
Unbelievable
Guys, holy
violence!
He's still on fire. The ring is on fire.
I think that's a different one. Is it not, Chad? I don't fucking remember. All this indie shit looks the same.
This is fucking insane! Has anyone fucking seen this? Get water out here! Get fire extinguishers!
Here we go.
Please, somebody help!
Like, why don't they have water and fire extinguishers on hand? I just don't understand.
I've seen it, my
And then Zach Amico's like, that's the craziest fucking thing I've seen in my life. Like, hey, bro. No, at JCW, you got to cuss on commentary. Hopefully he's not like, getting skin grafts or whatever the fuck. So Stu Grayson says, despite my best efforts, we have beaten the world record for the longest wrestling match ever at 21 hours, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds. You're welcome, I guess. So just kind of staying in character. Like, I didn't want it to go that long. And WWE legend Brian Knobbs could be forced to amputate his leg after an infection returns. Prayers up for Brian Knobbs. And hopefully, he gets, his health looks up. It's just unfortunate. And I'm sure you guys all know that, right? I mean, that's kind of old news. The infection return, just prayers up for him. That's all you can really do, right? That, ladies and gentlemen, is miscellaneous news. Randall Clarkson, miscellaneous news. Okay, let's get into Let's play a banjo. We don't have a lot of TNA news, and then we're going to get into AEW news, I believe. So Carlos Silva confirms TNA is currently prioritizing a new video game. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not like the Fight Forever game. Hopefully it's not like the 2K game. Hopefully it's its own thing. Hopefully it's more akin to the PlayStation 2 games. Or if they say, hey, we're going to do like old No Mercy type shit, but they actually do that. If I was one of these big companies, I would go to M. Dickey and I would contact M. Dickey, Matt Dickey, and I would just give him $1 million to take his game and just make a better TNA version of it or whatever company for all platforms, that would be like a side project and it would cost you $1 million and he'd do it for you. Well, I don't know if he'd do it for you. I'm speaking on behalf of M. Dickey, but I actually don't know that, right? I've spoken to him a couple times, but I actually don't know that for sure, that he would accept that deal, okay? But he should, and it would save you so much money, and you would make so much goddamn money. Proven from his game, his own game, Wrestling Empire, and the games that came before that one. So if I'm TNA, I'm looking at him at least like for the mobile aspect or something. But if they're trying to do some big console stuff, that would be amazing. You know, I've heard rumblings that TNA, well, I mean, we already got it in 2K20. Which one just came out? 5 or 6? 25. Abyss is in it from TNA, his music and everything. So I think next year there will be TNA and AAA people. That's the rumors floating around, that they're scanning everybody that they can for these games, even everyone on the nostalgia deals and all that, you know. Victoria's talking about, oh, I'm not in the Hall of Fame or anything. She's fucking scanned and in the new game and all that shit. So anyways, they're prioritizing a game. The first TNA Impact game was pretty cool. I didn't play it too much, but it was pretty cool. The Elegance brand will be on NXTNA next week. Again, Joe Hendry was all over that show. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Here is what Zilla Fatu had to say about Rikishi calling him out on wearing Jeff Hardy face paint on his debut in TNA. He did Jeff Hardy face at TNA, and Rikishi called him out. This is Zilla's response.
How did you feel about Rikishi having an issue with you wearing Jeff Hardy's face paint when you debuted on TNA?
You said, how did I feel?
Yeah.
I didn't really feel any type of way.
Why'd Rikishi call you out for this?
I just think he, every OG, not just him, but all the OGs in the game, man, they have their own way of, criticizing younger talent. I think with him is, obviously he was trying to put me on game, but when you mention someone you love, it hits different, because with me, when I hear him talking about my dad, it wasn't really necessarily about the face paint. It's just how he said it. And then you involve my dad. I kind of, overreacted because it's someone that I love. And not only that, when people bring up my dad, I get very emotional. So I think I did overreact, but I think everything could have been settled just over a phone call. So that's why I was so upset, because I'm like, why not call? Why not, do this over?
Because he needs the content, brother.
Over a convo or meet up instead of, going to the internet and doing all that. So, yeah.
That's a big moment for you. Your TNA debut. Yeah. You'll never have another TNA debut.
Yeah.
What made you decide you wanted to go out in the face paint?
Man, because obviously, I do this for my mom and dad, but, Jeff Hardy plays a big role,
So it was Jeff Hardy. God damn. So Rikishi was right.
Are you sure about that?
So Rikishi was right, dude. It was Jeff Hardy face paint. Fuck.
My character, and he inspires me. And I think I was just doing that because I want to have fun. It was,
Shit, he was right, dude.
I want to have fun. And that was, it was literally me and Jeff backstage chopping it up about my dad. And not only that, us figuring out our next step, our next move. And I think it was just more of us bonding together, but I want to do this, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still trying to figure everything out. And I just want to be able to do it my way on my time. I don't want to have anyone else try to write it out for me, because if they do, then it wouldn't be considered my story if I didn't write it. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be able to write my own story and be my own artist.
And at the same time, didn't Jeff Hardy wear Umaga's face paint or something like that to pay tribute to him?
Yeah. Him. And not only that, the Usos, man.
Yeah.
How they look when they first came.
Yeah, I don't think it was that, especially with that 3-minute pre-show match or whatever. I don't think it mattered that too terribly much. You could just reintroduce Zilla on TNA when he's like fully your guy. He's off doing all these other indies. Like if TNA scoops him up, he can re-debut. But with that being said, just look at Zilla. Like him, that look with the face tats and all the shit he's got going on, that's way more intimidating than like painting your face. If he does like a little bit of paint or whatever, that's cool. But I do get where Rikishi's coming from. But fuck, he was right. So maybe that's why, yeah, it makes sense. He called it out because like he knew that was Jeff Hardy face paint because he knows Zilla. He knows what's inspiring him. So that's fucked. Because when I listened to that, I was like, that's not very fair to compare it to Jeff when Samoans paint their face, but he's like hitting Zilla where it fucking hurts. Rikishi low blowing him, pal. It was a shoot, brother.
In the game, you know, it's all just paying homage, man, showing love. And I think that's the bigger picture, just showing love and most importantly, having fun.
Your father's always with you.
Hell yeah. Okay, so moving along here, TNA President Carlos Silva talks about the TNA game. He says we want to have a great deal in the UK, and we're working on that with a partner. And I think as we look at that, plus some sponsorship, we will then also come to the UK, and we're hoping that that'll happen in 2026. It's in our goals list, and so I think that will hopefully launch us. In terms of the video game, we didn't set that as a priority in these first 6 months since I've been here, but it's now gotten added to the list. We had to do some things to really dive and create the kind of stuff that we have with Slammiversary, like everything in an organization. If you do too many things, you don't get anything done, and so we had to concentrate on some successes. But I think now coming out of some success, we can now put that on the docket and look to understand where we go with the TNA game for sure, especially if WWE says, yeah, you can put TNA legends in your game, TNA legend AJ Styles, TNA legend Kurt Angle, TNA legend whatever the fuck, and then they can go to Samoa Joe and Sting and them and be like, hey, especially a guy like Sting, your likeness is greater than AEW, you know? So could we get Legend Sting or like Booker T? That can be like the crop of legends in their game as well. Their partnership with WWE, this could help them out too. So that's good. I'm all for more wrestling games. I'm here for it, Eric. I'm just all for more like pro wrestling games, you know? I would love if some of these other companies tried to make pro wrestling sports style sim games with GM modes and shit in them and try and do something different than what 2K is doing, but in the modern era, you know? Again, AEW had a chance, but they're like, we're going to do this nostalgic bit, but we're going to add in like all the new shit, and it's just going to be like a very like base level game with not a lot of content. And it's going to cost us $80 million or whatever. Fuck, $50 million or whatever. I mean, I don't know why they did that. So TNA has a real chance of doing something cool and different here, or maybe they're like, we're going to go the sports sim like the 2K route, but with EA. Maybe EA's interested, and then that's huge. EA, TNA Impact, or so. I'm not saying they're big enough to lock that down. And I don't, it took EA forever to even get on board with MMA, let alone pro wrestling. I mean, they just probably think that would diminish their titles and shit, but it'd be cool if they could lock on with, I don't want to see like 2K TNA 25. Like, I don't want to see that. Something else, but someone who does sports games well, or that are trying to get into sports games or something. I don't know. And hit up M. Dickey if you're trying to go to mobile. That's all I'll say. Okay, that was TNA news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit a Banjo Kazooie. Speaking of video games,